Hi, Todd Burns here with CMBecker International. Very proud to announce our partnership with Nordic Beer Systems so that we can now take their wonderful towers, and they have a screw-in shank cold plate in here that will allow you to, of course, screw your beer shank in, but we've modified or made a different size beer shank and a spacer so you can use our faucets on it now. So why Nordic? Nordic has been building beer towers in the United States since 1985, which is when I graduated from high school, and the cameraman was actually born, I believe, that year. So they've been making these things for a long time here in the United States. And what differentiates them is that they actually have an incredible cold block system in here that will stay cool by using a traditional glycol system, which is what you would use on most long draw systems, where you're coming from a walk-in cooler and you can circulate and keep everything the same temperature all the way from your kegs through your wall, ceiling, wherever it's going to that beer tower, and it allows you to put the beer tower wherever you want it. When you have a beer tower like this, you want to show it off. This is called their snakehead beer tower, but they make so many different beer towers. You can kind of visualize this, and we'll show you some other examples of their towers on this video, but you could take this same tower, come over and go back down on the other side, and that would be a beautiful U tower that would fit on top of your bar, or it could also come out of the wall, and you could have that coming out of the wall. We've done those before. So what is the advantage of this combination, I think, is the important thing, and that getting back to their tower and our faucets. So you've got a flow control here, lever, so that as I was showing you those lines earlier, 3 of the lines were beer lines, 3 of the lines were glycol. These beer lines, typically you want to do the math and determine how long they need to be to give you the proper restriction. The problem you run into is you have different beers that are pouring at different carbonation levels. You might have, now you're seeing a lot of mixed drinks, you're seeing carbonated, non-carbonated, all these different combinations. These faucets will allow you to pour all of those perfectly without having to mess with changing any of your beer lines. So you just add restriction or take restriction away with this, and you can get a perfect pour with any beverage. Another real advantage of these faucets is, just like any traditional faucet, you pull it forward to pour, but if you pull this back, you're actually changing the flow of the beer, and you're forcing it through a very small orifice, and it's creating turbulence, so that when you pour that beer, you can actually adjust this so you don't have any head on the beer. It's like a perfect pour, or not perfect pour, it's a pour without any head, and then at the end you can make a really, really fine head. Like say you're pouring a German lager, or you're pouring a Weiss beer, Hefeweizen. You can get that type of head that you want in that style of beer. But it's also great for other beers and just gives you a more professional pour in your bar and restaurant. So this is the CS10 faucet. This is one of our newer faucets, very nice German European look. It really couples well with these towers. So these are the V10 faucets. This is a very classic faucet. We've been making this for many, many years. I actually have these on my Keyser behind us here, and love this faucet. It's gonna work pretty much the same as the CS10 we showed you before. It has the same encapsulated piston in here, which is what allows you to not only have the flow control, but also when you pull back, you get that fine foam that we talked about when we were showing you the CS10s during the main video. These are our X1 faucets. This is the black plastic polymer version of this. We can actually do them in different colors in a custom situation, but we do need some quantity to do that. So these are a little bit different. They still have flow control, and you can still do a creamer on them, although it's an option. You can do a self-closing on these as well, which some people like. Particularly, we sell these a lot in the water industry now, and we make this in this black polymer, which is NSF rated. We're also going to show you a version in stainless steel as well, which is still used in a major chain restaurant to this day. Okay, so these are the stainless steel version of the X1. I showed you the polymer version earlier. One thing you'll notice, this has a different nozzle on it than this one. We actually have about 5 different nozzles you can choose from, so you can customize these. You can also change some internals in here so that you can, as I mentioned before, you can do self-closing. You can do a creamer action. There's ways to change these around and customize them more so than the ones with the encapsulated piston. These were developed because we had a fairly large customer that really liked the X1, but they wanted them in stainless steel going forward. So we now offer them in both materials. So what you get here is the perfect pour every time, and that's because of the combination of the great insulation, great cooling effects, and the faucets themselves.